Hi, how's everybody doing? This is Silver Fox from Mr. and Mrs. Silver Fox Forex, and I'm back with another training video. And this video will be support and resistance. I'm not going to make it super long. I'm going to show you guys a little trick. As most times, when you're trading, you cannot see the trade. It's developing in front of you, like over here to the right edge of the screen. And I'm going to remove my fractals because I use fractals as well to determine excuse me, the trend in which one I'm going to trade. So I'm going to get rid of that. Just give you a little bit clearer picture. One of the things you can do is to identify support and resistance is drop a line from the lowest low or the highest high, and it can generally tell you just about where you should get in at. Now, along with that, everything must be lining up. Your trend line must be going down. Everything, the stochastic must be below the moving average, must be below the AO, and below the waterline here. Your 20-minute moving average must be below your 50 moving average. So all these key things have to line up, and you have to find support and resistance. And trust me, they're all over the charts. You just have to train yourself and get great education to understand when to see them. So I'm going to take this line here. I'm going to do my best to try to drop it about here. Okay, so you see this blue line here? Now, this right here where this box separates it from dark purple to light purple, this here is 6 a.m. And over here, let me see what time this is. So this is 6. This is about 7. This here is about 8 o'clock. Excuse me. So about 8 o'clock. If you're good enough, you can take the trade here and write it all the way down for 46 pips. If you're unsure and you miss this here, that's fine. You can get in right here because, as you can see, this candle here is breaking this level of support. So if you don't catch that run, the next candle here, get in, 5 to 10 pip stop, write it down here for 17 pips or here. I'm going to show you again. So now that it's made its lower low, it's broke that support, I'm going to try to drop a line in about right here. Excuse me. So if you happen to miss all of this right here, it broke through support. If you miss this here, it's fine. Now you have to be careful because we're getting into, this is 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We're getting later into the trade, and it may not always go down. It could do a reversal. But if you miss all this here, you have to just wait. Be patient. It is showing you where to get back in at and catch a few more pips. So now we're here. You're waiting, and here, when this candle closes at the body right here, about a 10 pip stop if you want. Down here is 25 pips. Excuse me. Down here is 33. Down here is 54 pips. If you want to stay in it that long, it's totally up to you. You decide when you've had enough pips, okay? So for me, if I get in here, got my stop, I get down to here, that's 20 pips. I'm good because I'm going to place 4 trades, and each one's going to be a standard lot of $100 a pip. So 20 pips is good enough. That's $2,000. That's $8,000 I've made. I'm good. I don't have to be greedy and go all the way down here and try to get $5,000 or $6,000 of trade. I can if I want to, but I'm comfortable here. And if I feel like I'm going to trade the whole day, I'm going to catch this move here, get out. The magic word is a pullback. I'm going to wait for the pullback to the closest movement average, which is the 20. It will always go back to the 50, but the closest for now is the 20. So I'm going to wait because everything here is still good. We're below the water line. The stochastic line is going down. Everything is still pretty much generally red. You might get a flicker of blue, but we're still good because everything is still going down. The trend is still strong. I can wait to the pullback. It's normally 2 or 3 candles. Once this candle starts to form here, and I think I got a good position, I'm going to go ahead and get in, put my stop in. Now down here was 11 pips. That's $1,100, and it did. You know, the next candle cycled back up, cycled back up. Excuse me, to about $200 because it's only 2 pips. Then it came back down again on the next candle, and that's roughly 23 pips. That's $2,300. I would have made again. Magic word is you wait for the pullback. After you do that, might be 1 or 2 candles, so I wouldn't necessarily jump right back in here. I might wait for this to consolidate and give me a clearer picture. So I will wait, because over here is the London close, so you got to be careful, because I love trading the pound USD. So if I'm going to do that, I have to be careful, make sure it lines up as I'm getting here. And you see it's doing all this support and resistance. I'm going to drop these lines in here so you can see where it's breaking at, where you have to wait and get in to the trade. It's showing you a clear picture. I'm going to put a box around this here. It's showing you where you need to wait to enter your trade. Sometimes the wicks are super long, sometimes they're not, but they're showing you, hey, this is a consolidation point. You need to be careful because it could turn around and go back against you, but everything is still looking good to go down. You just have to be patient and disciplined to wait. My thing is, if I have to wait an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours to make this trade happen, I will do so, because that trade is going to pay off on whatever my lot size is that I get on this trade. Is 4 or 5 hours worth making $10,000? Yes, it is. You have a lot of traders that will tell you, oh, you don't have to watch the charts and you shouldn't be a chart watcher. And that's true. It depends on whatever your goal is. My goal is to be financially free and do it in such a way to where I'm covering myself on all points. If I'm going to make $5 million for a year and I don't want to trade next year, I know that I can take off and not trade if I wanted to. Set your goals for whatever you want to make a day. And I'm going to do 4 trades, each one at a standard lot, $100 a pip. So but that's just me. Everybody's different. But look how easy this is to identify when it's consolidating and hitting support and resistance. And you'll see the same thing on buys as it's going up. You'll see this here. This means take the trade. Wait. You can take the trade. Wait. You can take the trade one more time. And then you're pretty much done. Because now we're at the London close. Things are going to start slowing down. And it can happen between 10, 11, or 12. And this is 11. And a little after 11 here, almost 12, look at what it's doing. It's starting to come back to the first moving average. And it's starting to come back to the goal line. So you have to be careful. But support and resistance is real. You just drop that line in there, you can see where the lowest low is, and just keep doing it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, so you can see a clearer picture of when you need to get in. And make sure everything is lining up. Make sure your meter is telling you what is strong and what is weak. Normally, if the pound is strong on the left side and going up, you buy. If the US is weak on the right side, it's going down. Make sure your meter's telling you the correct thing. Make sure that you have the right training, proper training on it. And you can see this, multiple times on, different charts or different setups and things like that. And see, all you're doing is you're dropping it here, because somewhere back over here you do have a support that this broke, and you can see it. So your support broke way back here, and you have to wait all this time. Now you have different ones here. You can go ahead and drop in here, because as this is coming down, let me get rid of this here. You can drop different lines, and you just have to be patient enough to wait and see when that happened. So look at that. This was the close of the New York session going into here. So it did all this movement here. Now this is one that you can take for going down here, but let's see, can we catch anything higher up here? So I'm going to drop another line here. About right here, I believe is about good. So if you initially get back over here, where you go. All right. So if you initially miss this move as it's starting to come down, everything should have been lining up for you to take the trade. It's cool. You missed it. So what? Now you wait, because you have a bit of a small consolidation period. I'm going to show you guys here. It's not large, just good enough. Look at that. You missed this run. Okay, cool. No biggie. You got in here right as that candle was forming, that body closed, and you wrote it down here. 18 pips, $1,800. Again, show it to you again. Watch this consolidation point. Did a pull back to the first moving average. Look at that, body closed, that wick closed right there. Bam, you're in right there. You might have missed that little run and it's going sideways. It's cool. Bam, you're in. Down here, 15 pips, $1,500. Down to the bottom here, 51 pips. So you see that, doing a consolidation, getting ready to go back up to the 50 moving average. So it's up to you, with these things, but support and resistance is real, and you can just drop a line in there, and it's so easy to do. You just got to make sure you got the right mentor, the right training, make sure you know what you're doing, and your trading can be easy, and I want you to spot those things, because it's not super hard to do. It's not. Some people think it is, and it's not. You could possibly get in here, it's consolidating. You're waiting for the pullback, and you're pulling the trigger closer to the goal line, and you're riding it up. It's not breaking this support. You just have to be patient and wait, because this is coming into the London Open here. London Open is until 3 a.m., but pre-markets are about 1 a.m. So it's coming in there. That's where you're getting all this jibber jabber from. And you could get in here, ride it up, wait for your pullback, and come back up. So it's showing you different places you can get in at. This is a small pullback here, and it's coming down and it's going back up. So it's really, really up to you. Let's see if I can find a good buy for you. It all depends. So let me see here. Just trying to give you guys a quick little bit of game real quick. You just gotta find it. So, okay. Let's try this here. See if I can make something happen out of this one right here. So, big move up, possibly news. The way it wicked down and shot all the way back up. Coming back here. So, this is the first one. Bam. It's not breaking their resistance level. You see that? Sometimes there are multiple ones, sometimes there are just one or two. But it's not breaking that. So if you miss this whole move up, it's fine. You wait till it comes back down, depending on how late in the day you want to trade, because now we're going into the London close. And bam, right here. And you ride it back up. Now you can get out here. This is not really pulled back because it's only one red candle, and you can ride it up. Now you can wait if you feel you're good enough to get a few more pips, or drop this right in here. So look at that. It never broke that support again. It just kept going up. So then you would have just waited here, let it consolidate, and when the candle gets close to the first moving average, you pull the trigger. Let's see if I can do this the correct way. So this right here is where it consolidated after the London close. So it's probably about 12 o'clock over here, 12:15, something like that. I'm not going to actually count the time right now. And then look, the candle closed right here on or above that first moving average. You get in here, went against to maybe 2 pips, 10 pips will hold. That's fine. Get out here, 20 pips. Not bad at all. If you do a couple of trades, you're looking at 20, 40, 60, 80 pips. It depends on you. And you're pretty much done, because now it's going to go sideways, and you have to be careful of your spread because you may not make anything here. So it's generally up to you, but you can drop the support and resistance lines in there and just look at the bigger picture. Zoom out. It's a reason why some traders zoom out like this small. They zoom out like this so that they can see the whole picture. Sometimes we have things super big and the candles are big. See the whole picture and look at all of these support and resistance lines here. Man, they're just all over. You drop one here, bam, because it shows your lower low and your higher highs and stuff like that. You drop one here, bam, you miss it, you can get in. Drop another one here, bam, you can get in. And you do the same thing. You drop those lines because somewhere back over here you have the support where it broke through. You may not be able to see it. You might need a bigger monitor. You don't want to make your candles super small, but this is small enough, and you can see that. You can see it. So you want to do the same thing for your buys, pretty much, like I showed you guys right there. So you just want to do the same thing as you're buying. When you have a good trend for buying going up, support, drop a line in there, bam. This one kind of just kept going up on a straight up trend, so I'm trying to find ones that got more of a little break into it on a buy, so you'll know. So like here, bam, this is support. You get in here, make a few. If you missed that, cool, that's fine. It did a slight pullback. I hate having to do this sometimes because, you know, it kicks you all the way back out. But I'm trying to see here if I can find that one again. It did a slight pullback. We went past that one. Here we go, getting ready to come up. This is not the one here, one more. So it did a slight pullback. Just bear with me. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll cut this short. So it did a slight pullback. Look at that. Support. Never broke it. Trend starting to go up. Okay, cool. You missed this. Did a pullback because you missed all this here. Bam. And you got in right here as this candle is closing, because you don't know if this candle is going to shoot up like that. It could be a news candle. It could be anything. But look how it shot up. And you just dropped your support and resistance lines in there. Bam. You got that whole candle. You get out. You let it do a slight another pullback, and then bam, you do it again. So that's why you're dropping those support and resistance lines in there, so you can see When that candle closes, where you need to get in at. Look at that, 3 times. Bam, bam, bam. And you're there. And you call it quits. You're done. Support and resistance is real. I hope this video was very informative. Please comment. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't like. And I'm going to do my best to educate you a little bit more on trading. As always, take care and happy trading.